up and I'm feeling like a I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds. Oh yeah. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in a good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. Chillin' like a boss with my feet up. Got a bag for the visa. Pulling up the leader. Getting out while I'm on the. She's a keeper. No play burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot with no zeros. Don't you run out? No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut. Mayday. Bubbles and these models. It's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
That's fine. Yeah. Zoom.
The first carry here for Ty Montgomery. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On second down, Montgomery. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Three down. Hey, no. 258. Hey, check 26.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. This is intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. It was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Blue 58! Strong right! Strong right! Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Now a play fake here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone.
Only able to get it to the 2-yard line on his return. Not going to make a lot of friends on your team when you only get it that far.
The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Now Rodgers to try again after the pick six. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he takes it all the way up to the 45-yard line. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 43 yards. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. They go play action here on first down. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Throwing again. And left side here, it's Graham. 2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers fighting his tight end, Graham. Packer first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Now it's Rodgers. And some room to roam now. Through an opening, and there he goes. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Yellow. Let's 50.
And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Let's go. Let's hot.
Cousins now on second down. Yeah, he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. In for the score. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half.
Let's go.
I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And Graham's got it over the middle. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Okay, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Now Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Rodgers now to throw. Got a man, that's Allison. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Let's go, come on. Get him, baby. Three down. Kelly, strong left, Kelly.
Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54.
Rodgers to throw once more. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Call it a gain of 5. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And Cook has it left side. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Cousins on first down. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. And he's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on third and about 14.
You got him. You got him. You got him.
Through.
Play fake. Cousins. And he is going to go down. They sack him. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. This is taken at the 23. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
319. Jumbo.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Rhino. Yellow.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Buying time to his left. Lets it fly for Thielen. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he will take this into enemy territory as he's out of bounds on the other side of midfield.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Mike's 47. Mike's 47.
First down. Here's Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Hey, 382, Liz 50. Patient. Black, black.
A first down throw for Cousins. On the crossing route, complete. That's right. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. A give. This is Cook. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Zebra.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And Rudolph has it left side. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They'll run with Cook, and that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Latavius Murray, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Green 18.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. It's Graham. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Easy work. It's easy work, and it's coming again.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. The Packers on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Set it! Green 18! Hey, check 26!
53's the mic. 53. Check 53.
Zoom.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Gun.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. Finds his target, Montgomery. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
3 down.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Black.
Trips over here. That's over.
Wide. Where's the hot?
Following the interception, Cousins. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. From the gun, here's Cousins. His throw incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Move. Rose. Where's the hot?
Play action now. Cousins. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
3 down. Hey.
Go ahead.
3 down.
Yellow. Ready? Sit in there. Yellow.
Cousins now from the 50. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this from 48. Carlson able to put this one through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive. Go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And nothing but daylight ahead. 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on.
It's hard about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Yellow, 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 yellow.
Hey, watch number 30.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Watch tight end. Hey, 4 down.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Rodgers to Allison, good for a Green Bay 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Right there. 50.
Rodgers now on first down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
What we got? What we got? Joker, 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 Joker.
Here we go, here we go. 58.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. That's going to set them back 5 yards. Rodgers now looking to throw on second down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Khalil Mack in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Hey, check 26.
We got three down.
Rodgers now to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Zebra.
Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike.
Wait, hold on.
Cousins now on 2nd down. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. Odd. 5 down. 5.
Wait,
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays.
And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Draw play, Rodgers to Montgomery. Down to about the 22 here. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Jump out!
I got you, 88. I got you.
319.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Now Mason Crosby for the Packers field goal try. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And Crosby puts it through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Able to spin free. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Gun!
Tight end's Ringo. Tight end's on the Ringo. Tight end's on the Ringo.
Sahad! Where's that?
2nd down, Cousins. Over the middle, complete. That's Cole. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
Tight end right.
Pacer!
4 down, 4 down. 47's the mic, boy.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. He shakes him off. He's going to loft one deep, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the rookie corner, Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance. He's helping his team in a huge way.
Here's Rodgers to throw. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
They run, Montgomery, and he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
3 down.
In his own end zone, it's Rodgers. And now here's another interception. Picked up by the All-Pro, Navarro Bowman. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
4 down.
319.
Now Rodgers to try again after the pick 6. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A good 1st down call as the screen play gets him 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Throwing is Rodgers. Got a man. That's Allison. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Watch tight. Tight end's right.
On 1st down, Rodgers. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now it's Rodgers. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Daniil Hunter in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Guys, check him out. He's going to sit right over the middle. Watch the middle.
319.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He goes full extension, and he's got it. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better.
Tight right.
Now Rodgers, gotta have this one. And Adams has it, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And the kick here is good, so add 3 to the total. but they're still coming up well short, and that is how this one comes to an end. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Packers, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
I seen the best of them, jammed up. 25 to life and they can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We talking on the phones, they can hear us.
When you got dumb cake up in the say that they be waiting for you in the bushes with the duct tape coming down the interstate. Yeah, we really touch. We touch. October, I'm about to another state. He went down in Arizona, don't get me involved. An empty box in the car means they coming for all. I had 6 phones, I got rid of them all. We get hit and sit down, we don't talk to the law. Yeah, they think I'm tripping, they listen. They know our every move, yeah, they want us all in prison. That's why I can't sleep at night until they get in. I'm on another mission, I'm just young and I'm living.
I done seen the best of them, jammed up. 25 to life and they can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We talking on the phones, they can hear us.
7 in the morning and they in my home. My bank account's froze, what is going on? Why it all start going wrong? From talking on the phone.
My phone still echo, the feds won't let go. Money never sleeps when you're the Black Gordon Gecko. Line looking like they waiting on the retro. Sixes, I feel special. Resale and I never pay retail. My shoebox money afforded me the spree wells. And that then courted me a V12. Avoid the phones if it's sounding like a seashell. Too much clicking in the connection. Connect the dots with my connect for my protection. Face to face, I place my like a drive-through. Feeling, you know how I do. Push.
I done seen the best of them, jammed up. 25 to life and they can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We talking on the phones, they can hear us.
7 in the morning and they in my home. My bank account's froze, what is going on? Why it all start going wrong? From talking on the phone.
Too many handle business on my own, cause you ain't right, and that's I don't condone. I got homies behind the wall wishing they was home. They got jammed up, kept discussing business on the phone. Well, Scotty, boy, we 200 bands off the $20 flips. I'm going by myself when it's time to up. That way police don't have a clue when turn up. I'm dolo when I'm out making different moves. Pull up to the shop just to pick and choose. I'm that, don't get confused, cause even when the prayed I didn't lose. Machine.
I done seen the best of them,